What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Talk Reacts. I am your host, Silos, and as you guessed it, we're in another joyride. I just got off of work. I need to come on here today, and I need to vent. With all this flash news going on and seeing all these, what's a nice word I can say, scoopers, talking all this madness about it. And first I want to say, before I get into it and I let it all out, because as you can tell, as frustrated as I am, I'm gonna let it all out. Time and time again, these last couple of weeks, I guess you could say a month, my number one source when it comes to DC, when it comes to anything DC, you know, and this whole situation, which we'll get into it with Azra, with, you know, Aquaman and Amber Heard. Yes, I almost said turd, but I meant Heard. There's only been one group that and as you see in my last videos, I put them as my source. And I put them in my description, and I will do it again on this video. Sil Abdul Inc. and Mikey, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right, Stratton, time and time again have hit nothing but home runs and have proven their scoops and, you know, have proven that they truly have an insight into this new regime. So with what they say, I don't take it lightly. I take it for verbatim. Because why? They have proven weeks in and weeks out, literally days before news drops, they are on their video talking about, yo, this is happening. Either get on board or get out of the way. The famous line of Superboy from Young Justice. I say all that to say, all these, again, I'm trying my best to be cordial, to be respectful. All these fake scoopers, to get that hit, to get that like, to get that subscription, it's getting to the point, as you guys see, look at my channel, I don't have many subscribers. I don't have many followers. Because one, I do this because I like to, and it's a place for me to go on here and express how I'm feeling and you know, just get some things off my mind. And I genuinely just like DC movies, and I genuinely like Marvel movies. I genuinely like movies in general. So I feel like this is a space for me to come on here and say what I want, or maybe one day I'm going out and I'm playing pickup ball, you know? I say all that to say, you know, these fake scoopers are literally taking bits and pieces of all these articles and are running with it, and are making up this big, humongous stink of just negativity because things aren't going the way they want it to go. Or the way that they thought it should go, it's not going that way, so now they're gonna shit on everything that's going on. I'm gonna start by saying, I know a lot of people, before I get into the Flash stuff, which I'm gonna get into it verbatimly, a lot of people are upset with the way Zaslav is handling a lot of the stuff with DC right now. And, you know, they're saying that it's uncalled for, some of the things that he's saying out loud. He's too blunt, and you know, he's not cordial. He's just oh, I don't like it, throw it out. I'm gonna reiterate this. Many of you are seeing articles from people who are still connected to the old regime, who have friends who have worked there. And again, my heart goes out to them. I know a lot of families lost their jobs. I know a lot of families, you know, are in a time like now, in a recession and stuff like that. It's tough. So of course, you're only gonna see the negative. For years, and I'm strictly talking just as a DC fan, again, all that personal stuff, Again, my condolences go out to them. But I'm looking at this as we can, because this is what we can control. As a fan of DC, we have begged, plead, and asked so many people. We need structure. We need to right the ship. We need to change this Hamada burgerness that's been happening for the last couple years. Now, I say that to say there has been some great ones that have come out. Obviously, the Batman, I liked it. It was good. It was something different. But that's not a DCEU universe, okay? You know, Peacemaker, I enjoyed it. It was fun. You know, Suicide Squad, again, I enjoyed it. It was fun. But for so long, we've asked for help. We wanted to see the Trinity. We wanted to see Batman. We wanted to see Superman. We wanted to see Wonder Woman. And not in standalone films. We want to see them in a universe created, yes, with standalone movies, but also together in a universe that we know there's a Supergirl in the Superman universe. There's a Batman in all those. You know what I'm trying to say is, finally, we get this guy who's not taking any shit. It's at the point where he's coming in here and he's knocking down heads, and he's literally, if it's not good, you're out, right? And I could see, especially in the world that we're in today, in the society that we're in today, how abrupt and how bad that may seem. I say all that to say, seeing the hate that so many of these people are for one, giving Sil Abdul Inc., you know, Sil Nation and Mikey, just because they want to be the first ones to scoop things. It's just ridiculous. You know, it's like honestly, look at yourself in the mirror. Like, really just do that for a second. There is so much other things in this world that people are literally losing their freaking minds about, and you're gonna let that outshine everything else? Everyone is only seeing the negative. It's time for you to see the positive. And again, I'm venting, so a lot of it, I don't mean it to just sound like a rant. I'm gonna get to the point. So right now I'm gonna go into the Flash, and this is my thoughts on the Flash, right? So again, my hands are all over the place. I'm sorry, I talk with my hands. With this Flash situation, with this whole Ezra situation, first off, I want to say, for the families who are going through, you know, what they're going through with the accusations that are going against Ezra Miller, if these accusations are true, absolutely wrong, and I believe he should get reprimanded, and he needs to get the help. They need to get the help that they need. Speaking of Ezra, and I hope them and I wish them well, and I wish the families that are involved in that well. All that put aside, I'm strictly talking about Flash movie, this moving forward. And I know it's a very touchy subject, but this is my mindset. And I want everybody to take a minute. I want everyone to take a minute and think about, and I know this is different, but really think about today in today's society. Think about your favorite movie, right? You, maybe even a couple of your friends, love this favorite movie of yours, right? But there's always that one person, whether it be, oh, I want to get a like on you know, I want to get feedback, or even a critic. You know you're not going to like this movie, yet you still go and you go watch that movie and you criticize it from top to bottom, to the point where you're reading and you're just like, all right, dude, like, you literally came to see this movie just to complain about it. Now, I say that to say, everyone, you know, everyone I saw on Twitter today, and some of the you know, YouTube influencers and all this stuff are coming on their page and saying, oh, Zaslav, he needs to go and just scrap everything and just throw it in the garbage and move forward. you know, we can't have Ezra as the Flash. Where as points, I agree with you. Yes, you're right. Ezra should not be the Flash moving forward after this movie. I agree with that 100%. 100%. You know, whether he gets help from that time on to the next movie, it is what it is. Personally, I believe you need to move on from it, whatever. But now think about this in the business sense of it, right? You're telling someone who's invested over 200 million, if not maybe more, and is going to add more to make it even maybe a $300 to $400 million movie, to just scrap it. Like, business-wise, let's think about it like that. How does that make sense to you? Us as fans, it's easy for us to tell someone who, since he's taken over WB and DC, been put in a position of, all right, let's make a change. Let's create something good. And every time he does it, it's like, fuck, what do I do? Fuck, this isn't going on. Fuck, this is going on. Oh, shit. And he's literally he's came into a world of turmoil that he's trying to make something good out of it. Again, put all that aside. You're telling a businessman to scrap a movie that's almost over $400 million. That does not make sense. And again, us as fans, it's easy for us to say that. But when you think about it as a businessman, you're really going to count your losses when, like I just said earlier, you have people who literally go to movies that know they're going to hate the movies and still go see the movie. And what? The results are still there. You still get ticket sales. You still get all this stuff. And what, you're just going to scrap it? That doesn't make any sense. So, I know, again, I'm sorry. I know I'm jumping around a lot. It's just I'm so frustrated that it's just like, come on, man. Like, so, all right. I know a lot of you are going to come to me and you're going to be like, well, Zaslav, he scrapped the Batgirl movie, and that was $90 million. For a couple extra million, he shouldn't scrap, you know, why wouldn't he scrap Flash? Well, here's why. And this is why I said what I said in the beginning of the video about certain scoopers reading certain lines about certain movies, you know, about certain situations that's going on in the movie industry. Like, for instance, one of the big ones was, oh, they just got rid of Batgirl because it was a tax write-off. No. And you want receipts? Go to Sill Nation. Go to Sill Nation, and you'll see the receipts there. Batgirl was a spinoff to what Flash, the movie, used to be. So if we release that movie, it doesn't make sense, especially when you, as the head guy of WBD and DC, just came out a couple weeks ago, before this was all cut, you know, or whatever, and you stated, we have a 10-year plan. We're using the structure of Marvel. If this $90 million movie literally does nothing to upgrade this 10-year plan, why even move forward with it? On top of that, you have 2 screenings that were hot garbage. Again, receipts, go check them out. I'll put the link in the description. Go check it out. From Sill Nation. They will tell you, hot garbage. For a movie with Michael Keaton, who's only in it for, 5 scenes? In the movie? 5 scenes? Come on, man. For a Batgirl movie? Come on, man. That's what you bring back Michael Keaton for? Don't let me get into that. Anyways, you're literally, that movie has nothing to do with your timeline of this 10-year process. So, of course, people who are upset that this movie isn't being dropped and all this, they try to find the negative in everything. So they see an article and say, well, they got rid of the Batgirl movie and they're writing it off as a tax write-off. Oh, so that's the reason why they got rid of Batgirl. It's like, dude, like, let's say you do a project, right? And this project, you put some money into it, but it's not right now in the plans of your future. It's not worth it. So you're gonna scrap the project, and then on top of that, to make some money off of the money you lost, you're gonna, put it in your taxes or something. Like, that's literally what he did. Has nothing to do with your project to move forward in the future. So why not make money on it? That money that you're gonna make from it, from the tax write-off, right? You can invest more of that money to this new movie, which is The Flash, and add more money to that. Now, moving on from that, going back to The Flash, and again, I apologize. I know I'm all over the place, but this is just like, come on. And still has said, there's going to be reshoots. Again, so before I get into it more, one thing you guys need to do is, this weekend, you want to know what's going on with The Flash? I'll tell you where you need to be. Go to Sill Nation, subscribe. Saturday, he is dropping a major bomb. It's going to explain everything and make everything make sense, and hopefully put a lot of us at ease. I mean, me, I'm at ease because I trust what they're saying and I trust it. October is going to be our month for DC, but to put everything that comes after that at ease, I would say on Saturday, Sil Abdul Inc. Again, I'll put the link in the description. Be there on Saturday. It's gonna drop, and who knows, he might drop it tomorrow. But okay, so my thoughts on this, on Flash, real quick. And I kind of touched a little bit about on it, but I'm gonna keep going. If this was a Flash standalone movie, where it's the origin story of the Flash, it's only the movie about the Flash, I absolutely understand and agree, yes, scrap this movie. This movie is a Flash movie, yes, but this is the movie that's going to set up the 10-year plan for DC. So not only are you getting a badass Ben Affleck with a new suit and a new bike in the movie, right? Not only are you getting Michael Keaton, who I've heard is badass in the movie, right? On top of that, not only are you getting a badass Sasha Calle as Supergirl, where, mind you, Supergirl has not been in the movie theaters since, the back in the days of Christopher Reeve? So this is the official return of Supergirl. And not only is it an official return for her in the theaters, because we've had Melissa Benoist, who's been an amazing Supergirl in the CW, and I love her because she's beautiful and she was great as Supergirl in that universe. We're finally getting Supergirl back on the big screen. And not only that, she is a badass and whoops Michael Shannon's ass as Zod. That's another A-lister. And you're adding more to this movie with Zaslav adding more money to it, right? Who's not to say we might see a Henry Cavill? Who's not to say, we might see a Gal Gadot, or we might even see a Cyborg later, in there. This is a start of a 10-year plan movie that just happens to be with the main star, Flash. What I'm saying is, your best bet at this point, pound this movie with all this action, kind of like what they're doing with Amber Heard. And Sil touched on this the last couple days, how you're not really hearing anything about Amber Heard. I know Azura's situation and Amber Heard's situation are two totally different things. I get that. But in that same sense of, protecting the DC brand, we have not heard anything about Amber Heard because why? Jason Momoa leaked that photo of Ben Affleck, you know, on set, and they're changing everything of Michael Keaton, and you're hearing that that Ben Affleck's back, he's taking over, and he's doing all this stuff, and you're literally right now at a point of just like, guys, we dropped this movie and we move forward after it. All right, move forward. And I want to reiterate this so much, and I know I'm jumping around a lot, and I apologize, but this is just like, I'm at a point where it's just like we have to get to a point in society where we need to separate the art from the artist himself or themselves. And again, I'm not condoning anything that has been accused or anything like that, but it's just like, this movie is actually more important for business-wise. I'm thinking strictly business-wise, and as a fan of DC, it's more important because of the story that you are developing already, that it's to the point to where you just have to count in your losses, in the fact of, if people aren't going to see it, they're not going to come see it. But you got to also think that the people that don't want to see it, or that saying they're going to boycott it, are going to literally go see this movie just to talk shit about it. You're still making a revenue in it, right? And I sound dirty, I sound sleazy saying this, but it's the truth of what our society is right now. You know, I mean, in my eyes, that's what I see, right? I believe you drop this movie, you do what you want. Even, let's say they do an end, they add money to where they put an end credit scene where, you know, Flash comes back into the Snyderverse timeline at the end of the movie of where they leave it, and they lead it into the next movie, and the person coming back at the end is a different actor. Then yeah, of course, go ahead and you know, you cast whoever there. Or you just drop this movie, you give it the ending that it needs to give, and then later down the line, when you do Flash 2, or when you do the big team up of the Justice League, then, and Sil has said this, again, I want to give credit to Sil, give credit and roses to whenever it is, then yeah, you recast him there, and the next director who's going to do the big team up movie, then you recast it there. But we're literally at a point where it's just like, first of all, this movie has been in talks for 10 years, right? You've invested not to where it is now. To where it is now, it's almost 200 million, I think, or something like that, and you're adding more money to it. You got to think, guys, this movie has been in the talks for about, what, 6-7 years already? So just imagine that movie, that money that's been already put into before it was done. So it's more. It's more. So you can't just scrap this. This is all just to say, like, some of you guys out there will do anything for likes, and it's to a point to where it's getting disgusting. Like, it's not even about, like, of the situations of the people who are being accused of what they're doing, or anything like that. It's just like, people are just so used to hating on DC that you would find anything to do it as. Again, and I'm speaking solely on DC. I'm not trying to right or lessen the wrong that has been done, if it has been done, you know. I don't know. This is my thoughts on it, and I know I was all over the place. I apologize for that, but literally, I've had this cooped up all day, and I had to get on here, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna vent, and I'm just let it all out, and this is how I'm feeling. Now, I know a lot of you are gonna come on here, and you're gonna scorch me, and you may disagree with what I'm saying, or, you know, you may agree with me. At the end of the day, this is a space where we can come on here and we can talk, and we can let our feelings known, and, you know, no disrespect to anybody, and I hope you guys can keep that same cordialness and just tell me your ideas. I wasn't disrespectful to anybody. I hope I wasn't. I don't believe I was. And, you know, I can't help you if you're going to be disrespectful, and that's fine. But let me know what you guys think. All right, let me know how you feel about it. And yeah, all right, so I'm gonna end that off there, because honestly, I feel like I'm just talking around in circles at this point, and yeah, it's just getting ridiculous. Before I get off, guys, make sure you go check out Sil Abdul Inc. On YouTube. Again, I'm gonna put the link in the description. Big bombs dropping this weekend. He hasn't missed. Everything he has said, everything that Mikey has said has been back to back to back to back. At this point, they have more rings than Jordan. All right, it's ridiculous. All right, so go check him out. Become a member, and yeah, it's at this point, it's honestly, it's crazy, and it's just about to get crazy. Sil says it all the time. Circle October. October for us DC fans are going to change everything. And for those of you, all of a sudden now you're coming out and saying, oh, I don't believe it. Oh, forget about black. Come on, man. People are going to find the niche and everything because people just like to complain. If we stay positive and we move positively, man, the world would be such a better place. Like, stop thinking about the negative in every situation. There's a positive. Obviously there's negatives in every situation, but there's also positives. And I feel like we focus so much on the negative on every situation. Let's focus on the positive. All right, guys, let's stop talking your ear off. Again, I will regress myself from doing a lot of these rants. For God's sakes, I know John Campia is known for ranting on his channel. And, I try not to do that. I try to stay positive, but there's certain situations where we just can't, So, all right, guys, again, I'm out of here. Have a great Thursday night, and please hit the like button, subscribe, and again, let me know down in the comments how you feel, if you agree with me, and if not, then yeah, I agree to disagree. All right, peace.